So before I start the chapter, let me walk you through how we are going to access the revision notes and the test series in our app. That is here. If you go to play6.com and click on practice, we are having different packages available here. But since we are discussing with Neat Premium, if we go to Neat Premium, you will have test for each subject and a Neat full test. This Neat full test will have two sections. One, that is Neat practice test, which is prepared by Play6 tutors, and Neat past papers, that is from 98 to 2019. Hence, it is important to know that. And when we talk about the chapter, that is alcohol, phenols, and ethers. And for the revision notes, if you click at the top, that is in practice, if I click on Neat Premium and revision notes, if you click on revision notes, it opens into a new tab. Let us start the chapter alcohol, phenols, and ether. What do we mean by alcohols and which one we call it as a phenol, and what are ethers? When we say alcohol, alcohols and phenols are formed when a hydrogen atom in hydrocarbon, aliphatic and aromatic respectively, is placed by an hydroxyl group. If it is placed by an hydroxyl group, we say that it is a alcohol and phenols can be formed. So when we talk about alcohol, basically we say it is a group or it is a functional group which is indicated by the presence of your OH group. Whenever we have the presence of OH group, we say that it is a alcohol. So basically your alcohol group OH, it is called as your hydroxyl group. And this is going to belong to the category of group when we are attaching to a carbon chain, and that is going to help in the properties of your organic compounds, or simple we could say that it is a functional and functional group. So when we are naming the compounds which is having alcohol in it, so the suffix will have OL. Suffix has as OL, like methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. So the last word ends with here, the suffix is OL. And when we talk about how the alcohols are being classified, you can easily classify your alcohols based on different factors. First, if I say number of hydroxyl group being attached, or we can say based on the hybridization, or we could say based on the number of alkyl group attached to your alpha carbon. So when we talk about on the basis of OH group attached, that is your hydroxyl group attached, your alcohols are classified into three different types, that is monohydric, dihydric, and polyhydric. Monohydric, for example, we can say methanol as CH3OH. We are having one hydroxyl group attached. Dihydric, CH2OH, CH2OH. So we are having two hydroxyl group attached to it. In the same way, you can have polyhydric, which you would remember the example to be your glycerol. That is, it will be CH2OH, CH2OH, and your CH2OH. So it is your polyhydric alcohol. And when we talk about based on the hybridization, it can be sp3, like we can give an example to be ethanol. It can be sp2 hybridization, that can be an example to be benzyl alcohol. So there are different categories of alcohol based on its hybridization also. and we are trying to classify the alcohol based on the primary, secondary or tertiary carbon atom. So when you are having only one carbon that is primary to your primary carbon, if the functional group is attached, we say it as primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohol. So we are having different categories of your or different classification of alcohol. And next we have to talk about what are all the isomerism in alcohol. What are all the isomerism? So in alcohol, the hydroxyl group is basically being attached to an sp3 hybridized carbon atom, and these alcohols are usually classified as your primary, secondary and tertiary. And the next we have to talk about the isomerism. What are all the isomerism an alcohol can exhibit or it can show? An alcohol can exhibit your, basically they can show position isomerism, chain, functional and your optical. Position isomerism, it's very well, the name itself defines that there will be a change in the position of your functional group. Chain, in the number of carbon atom being present, is going to be in different positions or going to be different. If we say functional isomers, the functional isomers, we should know that for alcohol and ether. Propanol can also be said as functional isomerism. You will have methoxy, ethane, where their functional group is differing, but they will have the same chemical composition. So likewise, you can say alcohols exhibit your position isomerism, chain, functional and optical. And there are different methods of preparation of our alcohols. Alcohols can be prepared by from haloalkanes. That is when any of your haloalkanes is going to react with aqueous potassium hydroxide, that will undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Like for example, RX, we can say it as KOH, then your product will be ROH plus your HX. This can be any halogen. So when an haloalkane can react with potassium hydroxide, it undergoes nucleophilic substitution and they lead to the formation of alcohol and potassium halide. So that is a method of preparation of your our alcohol. It can be one method to be used for preparing alcohol. Second one, either we can reduce aldehyde or ketone in presence of a suitable reducing agent like your nickel, palladium, platinum, lithium, aluminium hydride, etc. And that will result you in getting an alcohol. We can reduce an aldehyde in presence of a suitable catalyst in order to give you a alcohol. If you are heating, we can also heat or we can also reduce a ketone in presence of a suitable catalyst to give us alcohol. The third method is even an alcohol can be prepared by reduction of carboxylic acid. That is, whenever we try to reduce carboxylic acid in the presence of a reducing agent, it will give you the respective alcohol. We can also prepare alcohol from your Grignard reagent. And whenever Grignard reagent reacts with formaldehyde, they will form primary alcohol. And whenever Grignard reagent is reacting with any other aldehyde, it will give you secondary alcohol. And whenever a Grignard reagent reacts with ketone, the product should be a tertiary alcohol. It is a very important concept. You should remember it. Whenever a Grignard reagent is reacting with formaldehyde, it gives you primary alcohol. Whenever Grignard reagent reacts with any other aldehyde, it will give you secondary alcohol. And when Grignard reagent reacts with ketone, it gives gives us tertiary alcohol. You can also prepare alcohols from alkenes, that is by their acidic hydration. Any ethene can undergo acidic hydration in order to give us alcohol. And there are many more methods in order to prepare alcohol. As and when you learn different chapters, wherever you come across certain product that it is an alcohol, you can consider it to be the preparatory method. And when we are talking about the physical properties of our alcohol, basically lower member are colorless liquid with they have a specific smell. But when we talk about higher members of your alcohol with more than almost 12 carbons, they are basically solid in nature. And yes, of course, they will have high boiling point because they have hydrogen bonding. Due to hydrogen bonding, their boiling point will be very high. And if we suppose try to compare their boiling point with hydrocarbon, they will possess or they will have higher boiling point because of the hydrogen bond in them, due to which they will occur at associated molecules. So we should have in mind that the boiling point will increase with increase in carbon in the chain, because as the number of carbon atom is going to increase, their van der Waals force will also increase, and that will result in increase in boiling point. But when there is a branching, when you are having the compound to be in branching, slowly their van der Waals force will decrease and their boiling point will also decrease. And when we talk about the solubility, they are soluble in water because of the formation of hydrogen bond in them. But of course, their solubility will decrease if the number of carbon atom in the chain as non-polar part increases, because their solubility will decrease. And when we are discussing about chemical properties, when we say, it is very simple to say that alcohols will behave as a nucleophile because they are electron rich species. They are electron rich species, and alcohols behave as an electrophile, whereas at that time they will be having electron deficient, and since they will be having electron deficient, they will help in the formation of your carbocation. And nucleophile, when it is behaving, they will be showing their acidic character, and they will have the tendency of reacting with your active metals. They will have tendency of reacting with active metals. So when we are talking, or when we try to compare the acidic strength of your primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol, we should know that primary alcohol will be less acidic than your secondary and tertiary, but tertiary alcohols are more acidic. They are more acidic in nature. And very important term we should know, that is called as your esterification. When we say as esterification, it is whenever an alcohol reacts with your acid. Whenever an alcohol reacts with acid in presence of your H2SO4, this will give you an ester plus H2O. This gives you an ester plus H2O. So for example, in place of ROH, I can say that I am taking methanol, CH3OH plus. In place of COOH, I can take ethanoic acid, CH3COOH. And if this is reacting in presence of H2SO4, you will get an ester, that is methyl ethanoate, CH3COOCH3 plus H2O. This reaction is very important. So we should know that whenever an alcohol reacts with acid, it gives the product formed as a ester, and this process is called as esterification. And next, we can move to phenols. So when we say phenols we are studying as what based on the structure. If we say phenols, it is your benzene ring with OH being attached here, and here if you say it is sp2 hybridized. So it is a sp2 hybridized, that is it will have sp2. That means the characteristics of your S is here 33 percentage and 67 percentage is your P character, and it will show more electronegativity. It shows it is more electronegative. So when we say about the hydroxyl group in phenol is being directly attached to your sp2 hybridized carbon of benzene ring, and that will act as an electron withdrawing group. That act as an electron withdrawing group. And we can say that when we are saying electron withdrawing group, that means it should be your electron density on oxygen will decrease and your polarity of your OH bond will increase, and you can say that hydrogen cannot be easily removed. So though phenol is acidic, but actually it is less acidic compared to the carboxylic acid. That is why it will not react with sodium carbonate and sodium hydrogen carbonate. But yes, of course, phenol will have the tendency of reacting with sodium, which is giving us sodium phenoxide. That gives us phenoxide. So when we are trying to compare alcohol and phenol, phenol is more acidic than alcohol because in alcohol it is sp2 hybridized, and in phenol you can say C atom in the phenoxide ion is will be resonantly stabilized because of the presence or due to its resonance structure. It is important. So no such resonance will be possible, and stability of your alkoxide is less than phenoxide. As a result, phenol will have more tendency to form phenoxide ion, because of which phenol will be acidic than alcohol. And when we talk about the different methods or what are all the chemical reactions or with which a phenol can undergo. For example, the best thing is how do we prepare, the questions being asked is how can you prepare benzene from phenol? So when phenol reacts with zinc dust, we get a product as your benzene. When phenol reacts with zinc dust, it gives a product called as benzene. When phenol reacts with ammonia, it will give you, when phenol reacts with ammonia, it will give you a product that is called as your aniline. So, and these names are also very important, that when a benzene ring is being attached with your NH2 group, the common name we call it as your aniline, and the catalyst will be anhydrous zinc chloride. If we try to react phenyl with your acid chloride, then we get a product as your phenyl ethanoate, and that reaction is called as acetylization. So when you are studying the concept or the theory about your phenol, it is very, very important to note the naming reaction. Like acetylization, what is the product formed when the reaction or when acetylization takes place? That means we should be able to say that phenol, when it is reacting with ethyl chloride, it will give you phenyl ethanoate. So there are different reaction which is being undergone by your phenol. Phenol can undergo substitution reaction, that is substitution by bromine if it is undergoing bromination. Hence, the product we get is 2,4,6-tribromophenols. So these are all very important. Nitration. A phenol can react with nitric acid in order to give you 2,4,6-trinitrophenol. And we have your Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction, where your phenol will react with methyl chloride in order to give you orthocresol and your paracresol. And if we try to know what is Reamer-Dimmer reaction, when phenol is reacting with chloroform, it gives you a product that is called as salicylaldehyde or salicylic aldehyde. This reaction name is called as Reamer-Dimmer reaction. Reaction, if it is undergoing, that is if if phenol is reacting with carbon tetrachloride, that also gives you a product which is called as salicylaldehyde. And if I say coupling reaction is in which you will get dyes of different color. That is, when diazonium chloride is reacting with phenol, it will give you para-hydroxyazobenzene, which is nothing but your azo dye. And this azo dye you will get orange in color, and this method is also used as a test for phenol. That is, when diazonium chloride reacts with phenol, it will give you a product that is para hydroxy azobenzene, which is orange in color, and this method is being used in order to test the presence of phenol. And next we can say even hydrogenation reaction. Phenol reacts with hydrogen gas in order to give you cyclohexanol. Cyclohexanol, it can, even phenol can undergo oxidation. When phenol undergoes oxidation, it will give you a product as benzoquinone. So all the reaction in phenol is very, very important. And there should be a test in order to determine whether the given alcohol is primary, secondary, or tertiary. So the first test which is being used on regular basis is that is called as Lucas test. In Lucas test, if I treat a primary alcohol with hydrochloric acid in presence of ZnCl2 and warm, then you will get a turbidity on warming that. But same thing, secondary alcohol, if it is reacting with HCl and ZnCl2 and you need not warm that, you will get turbid on starting by itself. If we are talking about tertiary alcohol, if you mix tertiary alcohol with your HCl and ZnCl2, immediately the turbidity will appear. For primary, you need to warm that. For secondary, you should wait. Turbidity will come on standing. And for tertiary, the turbidity immediately it starts coming. So we could conclude that which is the primary alcohol, which is secondary, and which is tertiary. And the next test which is being used is called as Victor-Mayer test. It is called as Victor-Mayer test. And this, we are having different tests for your alcohol and phenol also. We are having tests for alcohol and phenol also. So Victor-Mayer test says that you will get 2,4,6-tribromo phenol. Whenever phenol is reacting with your bromine water, it will give you 2,4,6-tribromo phenol. And how do we distinguish between alcohol and phenol? You are having a test that is called as even litmus test. Phenol will turn blue litmus paper red, where alcohol will have no effect, where alcohols have no effect on your litmus paper. Secondly, I told you about your coupling reaction, that is called as also, sometimes it is also called as azo dye test. It is also called as azo dye test. Phenol will give you orange color, alcohol will not undergo any sort of reaction. If we talk about bromine water test, when phenol is added to Br2, they will give you the formation of 2,4,5-trinitrophenol, but alcohol will not react. So, or it will not give any sort of such reaction. So, this is about your phenols. And there are certain analysis that a hydroxyl group in alcohol can form H bond with water. That is why we are saying that alcohols are miscible with water. And a common reagent that will selectively oxidize a primary alcohol to aldehyde is nothing but pyridinium chlorochromate, which we call it as in short PCC. And Victor Mayer test, it is being used for distinguishing your primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. And we should remember that methyl alcohol is also called as Wood's friend, and ethyl alcohol is sometimes also referred as grain alcohol. And when we are saying as your phenols are basically colorless liquid or crystalline solid, but it will become colored because of the slow oxidation. And yes, of course, alcohols are weaker what than your water due to +1 group present in alcohol, which will decrease the polarity of your OH bond. And phenol is more acidic than alcohol because of the stabilization of your phenoxide ion through resonance. And the rectified spirit rendered poisonous by addition of your 4 to 5% of methyl alcohol and traces of your pyridine and some copper sulfate. That is what we use the term and call it as methylated spirit. And what do we say it as your power alcohol? Alcohol when it is mixed with petrol or fuel and it is used in internal combustion engine, then we say that as power alcohol. And when we try to mix your PNG and cellulose trinitrate with the term that is called as your blasting gelatin. It's very important to know the other names of the compound also. And next we have to talk about the concept that is your ethers. Ethers are the organic compound in which your two alkyl or aryl group are attached to a divalent oxygen, and that is what we call it as your eternal or ethereal oxygen. So when we are saying it as your ethers, what do we talk about ethers? Or a functional isomer of alcohol. Ethers can be classified into two types, symmetrical, unsymmetrical. And ethers, it can undergo or it can show you chain isomerism. In this chain, it is going to be just arrangement of your functional group. Functional isomerism in this functional group will change. That is, alcohol is an isofunctional isomer of ether. Metamerism, yes, of course, it is shown only by your ethers, esters, and your ketone. And we have to know how do we prepare your ethers. So ethers can be prepared by different methods, by your dehydration of alcohol. That by only primary ethers can be prepared, but not your tertiary or we can say your unsymmetrical ethers. We can prepare primary ethers with the help of method that is dehydration of alcohol. And the condition required to form ether from alcohol is you should maintain a proper temperature, that is a temperature of 413 Kelvin should be maintained, and less amount of alcohol we should use so that we need more alcohol for further mechanism. And another method where we can prepare your ether is Williamson synthesis. In this method, tertiary ether, or we can prepare your unsymmetrical ether, where you will react 2-methyl propane with sodium methoxide. Like for example, we can say CH3, 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 and if this is being reacted with CH3ONA, that is your sodium methoxide, this will give you your 2-methyl propene, methanol, and your sodium bromide. The product can be your 2-methyl propene, your methanol, and your sodium bromide. So we can say, we can all, and then if secondary or tertiary ether has to be formed, then we can react your, then the RX should be. So sodium tertiary butyl oxide, we can react it with methyl bromide in order to give the secondary ether. We can get the secondary ether. We can also prepare from secondary or tertiary will give you alkenes instead of the possibility of getting ether. So there are different methods of preparing your ether by the action of diazomethane on alcohol. That is, we can react your diazomethane on alcohol. For example, I can say CH3 CH2 OH plus your diazomethane CH2 N2. In presence, it will give you actually methoxyethane plus nitrogen gas. Methoxyethane, we can write it as CH3 CH2O CH3. Hence, it is important that there are different methods can be used in order to prepare ethers. But basically, when we talk about the existence, that is properties, lower member are gases and higher member may be liquid or solid because of the increase in van der Waals force of attraction. And ethers will have higher dipole moment because of electronegativity difference and the bend structure. And ethers, of course, have low boiling point because of their less polarity. And solubility, lower members will be basically more soluble. And when we talk about the chemical properties, we could say that if ether is reacting with oxygen, it will give you a product. For example, we can say ethoxyethane. When it is reacting with oxygen in presence of light, it will give you 2-ethoxy ethyl peroxide. It will give you peroxide. Suppose if ether is reacting with Lewis acid, then that will also give you your boron tetrafluoride etherate is the product. So we could say that ethers can also undergo chemical reaction, and it can react with your hydrogen iodide, that is methoxyethane. If it is reacting with hydrogen iodide, it will give us methyl iodide plus alcohol. So each and everything we can say that there is a concept behind it and how the reaction takes place. Ring halogenations, chlorinations, that is even anisole, if it is undergo reacting with your chlorine, it will give you orthochloro anisole or parachloro anisole. It can undergo nitration. Anisole can undergo nitration. So when we are talking about alkanes, we say that it is Friedel-Crafts alkylation. It can even undergo Friedel-Crafts alkylation. That is, you can take any of your anisole, and if it is reacting with CH3Cl, this will give you methyl toluene, 2 methyl toluene plus your 4 methyl toluene. Hence, the product formation and the reaction from this chapter is very, very important. And once we learn about its preparation, we learn about its uses, or when we learn about how chemical properties, we should also know that what are all the places we use ether. So basically, ether is used as an refrigerant, and they are used in industrial solvent for your fat and oil. And whenever an ether is mixed with your alcohol, they make alcohol denatured, and then they are used in your perfumery, like if it is being present in your clove oil, in vanilla extract it will be present, in mint it is being present. So there are different products in which ether is being present in order to provide a smell to that particular product. That is all we have based on the concept of your alcohol, phenol and ether. So I repeat, the naming reaction is very, very important from this chapter to revise, and it would be very simple to attempt question from this. Based on our understanding, let us try taking a test from this chapter. So here, if I go to chemistry, you are having chapter wise test, and each chapter has a different number of tests in it. But when we talk about this, it is a each bubble actually represents a test, and if the color of the bubble is green, it means that the test is already taken. Blue, it is yet to be taken, and R is a random test for additional practice. But green indicates that test is already taken. It doesn't mean that you should not take the test once again. You can take the test n number of times unless and until you feel confident in those questions from that particular chapter. And now let us start taking a test from our alcohol, phenols and ethers. This type of test, or this type of chapter, organic part, it will be totally based on our chemical reactions. Hence it is very, very important to focus on the reaction which is taking place and what could be the product formed. So if I say lower alcohols are soluble in water and higher alcohols are not, why? What should be the reason behind that? So if I say lower alcohols is being dissolved and higher is not, what should be the reason? It is a simple fact that lower, due to the formation of hydrogen bond, or due to the formation of oxygen bond, or due to the formation of here, because water is non-polar, and we say none of the above. Lower alcohols are gaseous in nature and higher alcohols will be solid in nature. So that would be a reason for not being dissolved. So when we say alcohol, phenols and ether chapter, properties are very, very important. So what? So the answer for this should be because of the presence of your formation of your, let us save that and go to next. Next question, say alcohol, chlorine. Although chlorine is an electron with drawing group, yes, yet it is ortho-para directing in electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. why it is so. So we should know why it is being in that case. So when we are talking about your alcohol, phenols, or sorry, chlorine act as an ortho as directing group because of inducting effect. And when we say it has inductive effect, and your chlorine act as an para-directing group because of sp hybridization, para-directing group due to the presence of lone pair of protons and due to the presence of our ortho para-directing group because of your resonance. So when we say about resonance, what do we say it as your resonance stabilized structure? So the answer, chlorine withdraws electron because of your minus I effect, and it will donate electrons through plus R effect. Hence, chlorine will act as ortho para directing group because of resonance. And one of your lone pair of your electrons of chlorine can conjugate to the ring and direct the electrophile to your ortho and para position in the ring. And also we can say about your mesomeric effect is stronger than our inductive effect. So as a result, we could say that resonance, there is delocalization of electrons, and the ortho and para position on the benzene ring are completely negative. So we could say further substitution at your ortho and para position. So we can say that answer of your I effect, chlorine as ortho and para because of your inductive effect. And when we say the next question is Williamson synthesis for your tertiary butyl methyl ether is, what should be the product? What should be the product for it? So when we say about our Williamson synthesis, tertiary butyl methyl ether, the product formed should be equal to the, your product is your CH3COK plus CH3Br. This should be the product for your tertiary butyl, and that is your product, because this type of elimination is basically a dominant reaction of your tertiary alkyl halide in the presence of a strong base. So does not occur the tertiary methyl ether. Hence we can say that A option to be correct. Let us save that and go to next. Which of the following is expected to have lowest boiling point? Which of the following is expected to have lowest boiling point? So first thing we should remember that the carbon and oxygen bond on ethers are basically polar in nature, and they will have a net dipole moment. And the weak polarity of ether will not appreciably, you can say that it ether will have the lowest boiling point. Hence, option B should be right. Let us save that and go to next. The treatment of lithium aluminium hydride with the below one leads to, what could be the product when the below given reaction is leading to lithium aluminium, or when it is reacting with your lithium aluminium hydride. So it's a very simple fact that lithium aluminium hydride will react with your ester acid or amides or your acid halide anhydride in order to give you alcohol. In order to give you alcohol. Hence, from the given option, you are having alcohol in option A. So that should be your answer. Let us save that and go to next. The major product obtained on heating hydroxy acid. We have to find out the major product which we are getting on heating this. So we should remember that hydroxy, that is your alpha and gamma hydroxy acid, will give you 5 and 6 membered ring compounds which will be or more stable. So hydroxy and above compound will give you a fixed one, that is your linear polymeric ester. It should be linear polymeric ester. So from the given option, if I check which one is linear polymeric ester, it should be your option B. Sorry, linear polymeric ester it should be. That means it is our option A. So let us mark that. Save that and go to next. Phenols can be prepared by, there are different methods of preparing phenol, but from haloarenes you can prepare from, because from the given option, if you say Dow's process is considered to be a method in order to prepare phenol. There are multiple methods to prepare phenol, but we can prepare from Dow's process, that is when chlorobenzene is heated with caustic soda at 300 degrees Celsius and 200 atmospheric pressure, you will get sodium phenoxide, which on acidification, which on further acidification, it will give you phenol. Hence your option D should be the right one. Let us save and go to next. The below reaction is, from the reaction we could very easily say that it is a your Reamer-Tiemer reaction, because when phenol you are treating with chloroform and your aqueous sodium hydroxide, it will produce you salicylaldehyde, and the reaction name is called as Reamer-Tiemann reaction. Save that and go to next. In the below reaction, we have to say what is the major product. What is the major product formed in the below reaction? So OH group is being strongly activating substituent for your phenol, and that can be halogenated once under your mild condition, and they will be totally intersective for itself. So we could say that if it is Br, OH with Br2, it should give you the product to be OH, and it will be your Br. So option A should be your major product. So let us save that and go to next. We have to give the uses of ether. Ether is used as motor fuel along with petrol. Oh, sorry. Option is ethers can be used as a solvent for extraction. Ether is used. So the option, from option we have to choose which is the actual use of your ether. So from this we could say that dimethyl ether, yes, just now we saw that it is used as a refrigerant and a solvent at lower temperature, and diethyl is used as an anesthesia in surgery. Hence option D should be right. Let us save that and go to next. So we have completed the question. So let us cross check your lower alcohols due to the formation of hydrogen bond. It's correct. So we can save. Since we have attempted all the question, we can give and test. So here we have done all the question right. Maybe one question we have gone wrong, but still if you click on this question, it will give you the right answer with a correct explanation. So it is better to analyze the question wherever we have gone wrong, and it will help you to give you the correct answer with an explanation. And all other, so suppose if you have gone wrong, the color of that question would be red in color, and if we have done the questions to be right, it is green in color, and if we leave any question to be unattempted, it will be orange in color. So do try taking test n number of times so that you feel confident on the chapter. Revise the chapter and then take the test so that your work becomes easy. That's all we have for today's session, students. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to us with the help of Ask Feature, or you can reach out, post your any specific doubt from a chapter or any concept. You can reach out to Play 6 Management for one-to-one tutoring. Thank you, students. We'll catch you up again tomorrow with a new chapter.